Hi guys, it's Red. I am going to try my hand at this vlog thing, so here goes. My name is Red. I am 31 years old and not afraid to tell people because, I never thought I would actually make it to 31, but here I am. I have a good job. I'm a dog groomer and I hate my job, but it pays the bills, so I can't really complain too much. I have a wonderful boyfriend who I love very, very much. We have an apartment together along with my goofy cat named Renji, who's actually in the bathroom with me. Oh, by the way, I'm recording in my bathroom because it's really late at night and this is the only quiet, well-lit place I could find in my house because my house is very tiny. But Renji's actually here in the bathroom with me and figured I needed a little bit of moral support to do this. So, but he is a goofball and I love him. I've had him since he was just a little tiny peanut. I actually, with my sister and a couple of our friends, found his mom and him, his brother and sister, when his mom was still giving birth to them. We scooped them up, found her, scooped her up, and I absolutely fell in love with Renji and his goofiness. So I told my parents I was not going to keep any of them. No, I am just taking care of them until they are old enough to go to the shelter and find good homes and everything like that. And I fell in love with Renji and I could not leave him. The reason that I called him Renji is because I am an anime fan. And one of my favorite animes at the time was Bleach. And when I picked Renji up in his tiny little peanut state, he was still wet. He wasn't even dry yet from being born. I picked him up and I go, oh look, you look like a little tabby cat that had been splashed with bleach. So I thought, Bleach. Who's my favorite character from Bleach? Renji. And then he's very aptly named because just like the Renji in the anime, Renji tends to run into situations that get him in trouble before thinking. And it can be very comical at times, but he is a goofball. He's about 8 years old now, I think, roughly around 8 years old, and he's been my constant companion through everything. He's moved with me to every place I've ever gone. He's, as far as cats go, well adjusted now, and he actually even went with me to New York when I lived in New York for a little while. So he's a well-traveled cat. Well-traveled cat that hates the car. But we also share our house with my dog Lila, who is a black standard poodle. And I figured if I'm going to be a groomer, I should get a dog that actually gets a haircut. So I have a standard poodle. She's a goofball. Love her to death. She can also be a terror sometimes. So, but we'll get into that in another story time. But she's a goofy kid and I love her so much. She's about 3 now. I've had her since she was about 7 weeks old. And I actually was her mother's groomer for a long time when I lived farther north. I live in Florida, by the way. So when I lived farther north toward the Okeechobee area, I was grooming her mom until we found out that her mom was pregnant. And I fell in love with Lila because I would come over and help them bottle feed them and stuff like that. And she would just sit there and look at me. She wasn't very playful. She was very calm, but she would just stare. And she still does that to this day. She still sits there and stares at me. So I also have a ball python named Sophie, and she is a goofball as well. I'm pretty much my little misfit family here. She is the only ball python that I've ever met that actually likes being high. She likes climbing on things. I actually want to get her a big branch that goes through her enclosure so that she can have something to climb up on, more than just her little, decorative jar that's in there. And, she's a goofy girl. My boyfriend ended up buying her for me for my birthday. Best birthday present ever. And hopefully she will be sharing her enclosure with another ball python that I will be getting in the future. Not quite sure exactly when, but I've always wanted a piebald ball python. They are, I think, absolutely beautiful snakes, and eventually I will have one. But for right now, it's just Sophie. And then I have a fish tank full of fish that I absolutely adore, especially my female betta fish that is in there. And she's a ham. She follows you around when you're walking near the tank. She'll follow you in the tank. She'll follow your finger. She had a wonderful time following my very shiny phone when I was trying to take this video. But other than that, I mean, pretty normal life. You know, we started doing YouTube not too long ago just as a way to spend more time together, Roxy and I. And it's grown into a passion that I don't even know how to explain. And I think the biggest joy out of it all, hi Renji, I know. The biggest joy out of it all is just when you guys comment on the videos, seeing your reactions to things and stuff like that. And I think that's wonderful. And I want to give a special shout out to Amber M, who lives in Texas. And every time I read a comment that you put on our videos and stuff like that, it just warms my heart. In one of the comments, she did say that while she's watching us, she sits there and screams at the screen trying to talk to us as if we're actually sitting there in the room with her. And the first time that I read that, it made me cry, you know, because to have that kind of connection over, you know, state lines and stuff like that when she's so far away is really an awesome thing. And even if our channel never gets any bigger than it is right now, just with the 40 some odd people that watch us right now, and just remember we love every single one of you. But if it never gets any bigger than it is right now, it is worth it, because I would not have that connection with you guys otherwise. And I think that is the greatest thing about YouTube in general, is being able to have those connections with people and being able to talk to you guys even though you're not in front of me, even though I'm in my bathroom, which can only fit about 3 people, you know, in total, unless we shoved a couple of them in the tub. But you know, yet I'm still talking to you guys, and that is a wonderful thing, and I love it. I love every second of it, and I don't ever want it to end. So if you can't tell, I'm having a great time. I'll get better at this vlog thing, but every time we record a video, it gets better and better and better, and we're having more fun and more fun, and the more times that you guys connect with us and tell us what's going on, it just makes that drive even better, because we want to make better content for you, and we want you guys to have just as much fun as we're having. And I just can't tell you how happy it makes me to know that there are people out there who want to watch our videos and enjoy our videos just as much as we do. So to everyone out there watching, from bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of Roxy's heart, thank you so much for watching and talking to us and just being a part of our Misfit family, you know. So this was vlog number 1 of however many, you know, will be in the future. And I wanted to tell you a story. The story of how, from my perspective, how Roxy and I met. So as you know, I'm a groomer, and so is Roxy. We met actually in a grooming salon. We were working at a particular company, which I will not name, but we were working at a particular company as bathers. So just bathing dogs, not giving haircuts or anything like that. I was getting ready to move back down here from New York, and the store that I was transferring to from New York down here in Florida, where we live, they wanted to send somebody to Grooming Academy, and I had been working for the company for almost a year, and they wanted to send me to Grooming Academy. So I said, yeah, sure, you know, I'll go. It's a pay raise, and I'll get to have more responsibility and things like that, so it'd be good. And once I actually got to the store manager pulled me aside a couple of days after I had started there, and he goes, by the way, we're actually not going to send you to grooming school. There's this other girl that's been working here with us for a while who wants to go, so we're going to send her instead. And I said, you know what, that's a bummer. But it's okay. I want to get my feet in the door, and, you know, I want to get the feeling for being back down in Florida, and I had just broken up with my fiance at the time, so, you know, I had a lot of things to work through on my own, so maybe grooming school wasn't right for me right then. Then they were actually going to send me to grooming school, and I found out that there was a store that was about 15 to 20 minutes closer to my house than the store that I was currently working at. So I was driving 45 minutes or so to work and back home every day. Some of those times I wasn't leaving the store until 9:30. So driving 45 minutes back home on back roads that are not lit, because I live out in the middle of nowhere at the time with my parents, which, you know, it was great, but still at 10 o'clock at night, driving down those back roads that are not lit, that are just straight 4-lane highways, was a little rough sometimes. But so the store was closer, and I said, oh, hey, you know, when I'm done with grooming school, I would love to go to this store because it's a lot closer, you know, and they need a groomer as far as I know, and, you know, it'd be great. And they go, yeah, sure. Then I go to grooming school, and when I get, you know, halfway through grooming school, they're like, you know what? We're actually not going to transfer you to that store. We just transferred this other girl to that store. So, you know, it was that girl that went to Grooming Academy right before you. So we're not going to transfer you to that store. And I was like, who is this girl that keeps taking my stuff? Like, she took grooming school before me. Then she's taking the store that I wanted to go to before me and all this kind of stuff. Finally convinced them that at least let me go for the ending of my training at this new store, because there was a little bit of a language barrier with my manager at the store that I was currently at. She spoke broken English, mostly Spanish, and I don't speak any Spanish at all. Very little. Very little. So they said, fine, you can go to that store and just train with the manager that's over there, because, you know, he'll be able to train you a little bit better, and then you'll have to transfer back to this other store. So I said, fine. I'll finally get to meet this girl that has ruined my life. Renji, what are you doing? My cat's being weird, sorry. So I finally get to meet this girl that's ruined my life for the last 3 months. And then, you know, people were telling me, oh, you know, you gotta watch out for her. She likes to talk a lot. She can get really mean sometimes, that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment for when I actually meet this girl. And so I finally met her. And lo and behold, you know, we became quick friends, you know, because she does like to talk and so do I. So, you know, we got to talking, and after that, it just grew from being kind of acquaintances to friends to best friends, and now we're like freaking sister wives. So, you know, she's such a big part of my life now, and here we are, YouTube partners, you know, and planning on raising our kids together and buying a big house and all living together and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, she is a very big part of my life, and I love her very much. And yeah, so that's how Roxy and I met. And Roxy, this is going to be directed at you. I want to know, because I know my side of the story, and pretty much all of our friends know my side of the story because I can't shut up. But I don't really know your side of the story, because I know most of that you weren't even aware that you were going to grooming school instead of me, or that you got transferred over to the North Lake store instead of me. You didn't even know all of that was happening. So I want to hear how we met from your side. So that's my challenge to you in your vlog that should be coming out in a couple of days. Go ahead and tell me how we met from your point of view. Whether it's even just a little blurb of, oh, this weird pink-haired girl walked into the store or whatever. I mean, I don't think I had pink hair at that time, but, you know, this weird blonde-haired chick came into the store, and here she was, and we became friends. I mean, even if it's just that. But tell me your side of the story. And I also want to say that life is wonderful, and even though there are bad people in this world and people that, you know, will make you want to cry and everything like that, and will tell you that you're not good enough, or that, you know, it won't work, or your ideas are crap or anything like that, it doesn't matter. If you really want something, you know, go out and take it. You know, go do it. Just see. Just give it a chance. Because if I had listened to people, I never would be recording this video. I never would have had the opportunity to talk to you guys and tell you guys about my life and to hear about yours. So don't ever give up, you know? And my motto in life has always been and always will be, whatever floats your boat, as long as it doesn't sink mine. So you do you, and as long as you're not hurting anyone else, then go for it. Live your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough, because you are. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're passionate, and you are the perfect you. And as long as you are the best you can be, then you are perfect. So don't let anybody else ever tell you otherwise. And love you guys. Thank you for listening to my silly story. And yeah, hopefully this won't be the last. So I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.